Southington's one of those small towns that really people care about each other.
Activities, organizations, sports, anything you want to do, you can really find and get involved with.
It's a great town to live in. It's got a great school system, a wonderful place to raise a family and to live.
I love Southington. I moved here 7 years ago and I wouldn't want to be any other place.
I love Southington. I have an allegiance to Southington like so many other people. It's a great, wonderful town.
I think Southington could be any town in this great country. However, what's different about Southington is that, at least in my experience, it's blessed with many more caring people who are willing to stand tall for the next generation.
We were, as a community, tragically awakened about 5 or 6 years ago when 4 of our young people took their lives within 1 year's period of time.
On top of that, we did an extensive survey on behaviors of students.
And what we saw is that a lot of our young kids were involved with risky behavior. It took one of our high school students to come to us and say, what are we going to do? This is not acceptable in our eyes and we're scared. What can we do?
And I think the combination of the data that we collected, what folks read about in the newspaper, brought together a half dozen of our most caring citizens.
Community leaders got together and thought that something needed to change in town.
We needed a relentless effort from the community. It's not just the parents, it's not just the schools. It really needs everyone to help support this system and to get a safety net around our kids.
Everyone had to work together to get the job done.
Their work resulted in our STEPS organization building assets and doing some terrific things for children.
So from there we reached out, and true to Southington fashion, everyone jumped on board.
STEPS is a philosophy, not a program. Hopefully we're going to be changing the community with a new philosophy, trying to get kids involved and to stay away from risky behaviors.
The model that STEPS chose to follow is something called the 40 developmental assets, and it's basically building blocks, 40 building blocks that kids should have, and the more of these that kids have, the better able they'll grow up to be healthy and successful in their life.
This is a paradigm shift. It's a culture change. Within every school, within every classroom, within every building, we want to make sure that, the students are building assets.
The entire Southington Board of Education and school system is launching the asset building in their schools. It's called the Asset Building Classrooms. It's the ABC team, we call it. Also stands for Asset Building Community. Each school, every teacher, every administrator is going to be building assets with our students in Southington.
We know that the more assets that these kids have, the better chance they have to stay away from risky behavior.
My name is Emily Socha. I'm a junior from Southington High School, and I've been actively involved in STEPS since my freshman year.
One of the keys for success for STEPS will be on youth leadership and youth involvement. They're so much more impactful dealing with their own peers than we are in this case.
I just think it's a great organization. It's positive for our whole community, our school. Everyone can really benefit from it.
Our goal is to bring the community together and unite youth with adults and make sure youth are into positive aspects of life.
I see it as an opportunity for students to help students. I see some great mentoring opportunities for adults to be involved with students at risk. It's an opportunity for every parent in this community to latch on to a prescribed plan. And I think most of all, I see it as a platform that will have the opportunity to be a model, not only for this town, but for towns that are looking to do what's right for children.
STEPS is not just another organization. We care about other people's children.
As I look at the future for Southington, I think it really is with the kids. A lot of them are going to be living here as they grow up and being adults. They're going to be giving back to the community through volunteerism, to supporting those in need. So it's important that they get that now, so it's just natural for the next generation. To see our kids go in front of the town council and make presentations, that's pretty cool.
Right now, I'm a co-chair for the Community Service and Events team, and our team is growing. We had a big group meeting in January, and now we've got 30 people coming to our meetings.
And I believe that we have the substance within our schools, within our STEPS organization, within this community to make a presence on the national level of how to be proactive rather than reactive.
No one can do it alone, so it's a group effort.
If we fail at this, we can never bring it back. We need to stay on it. So it's a matter of policy change, environmental change, cultural change throughout the whole community. So after a while, it just becomes everyday life of how we're supporting our kids.
STEPS is really beginning to work. The STEPS has become a common name around town. People know STEPS, people understand STEPS, and this is just the beginning. It's going to go places.
There's informational sessions that will be going on continuously. There'll be opportunities for parents to truly understand how things have changed since they went to school. And I think it's also an opportunity to connect them to their child in a much better place.
I think a lot of them are seeing they're part of a movement in town. They're part of a real change in town.
I think that any community can really do what STEPS is doing. It's just you got to have those people, and we're trying to instill those healthy values and, you know, grow great kids. That's really what we're trying to do.
Working with other people in the town of Southington and working with people in the community, doing community service, I think that's a life lesson for a lot of the kids to be learning and to be interacting with a lot of adults and just to see what's out there in the greater community and being a part of it, being a part of the change to help out.
I can't control the world, but I do believe that I can make a difference in the local community. And I hope that in the end result, the end game of this, is that our community is more caring as a whole. Adults care for the kids. Kids have respect for adults, and kids are more inclined to do positive activities.
I'm thrilled about this generation, though. I mean, the talent, skill level that these kids have is something that we weren't even close to. So they have a lot of gifts and talents that we didn't have, and I think the future is bright with them.